first part of the notes, you actually don't have to write, just pay attention. I want you to see that the quadratic formula is someone just didn't dream it up. I know it seems kind of weird and maybe you don't care. You just are fine with someone telling you, hey, here's the quadratic formula. Maybe you do care. Maybe you think, where did this come from? Or why does this work? I'm going to pretend like that's what you think. So I'm going to show you where it comes from, and you can just pay attention, put that away. You can just pay attention and watch. You don't have to write this down, and then we'll do one example. Okay. Can you even see the, probably not. Let me get my blue pen again. Alright, if we look at a quadratic function, any quadratic function, we'll call it ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So we're going to look at any kind of quadratic function, no matter what a, b, and c are, given anything. Okay, and we're actually going to complete the square, which we just learned how to do, so this is good practice. Alright, the first step says to divide both sides by whatever a is. This is going to give me x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals 0. This first part you don't have to write down. Okay, the second step says to get the c term by itself, and now our c term is actually c over a. So we're going to subtract c over a from both sides. So we get x squared plus b over ax equals negative c over a. Now we're going to complete the square. So completing the square term says take b over 2. So our b is currently b divided by a, and we're going to divide that by 2, which we could also just multiply by a half. And then we're going to square that. So that's actually going to be b over 2a, and we're going to square that, which gives us b squared over what? (2a squared), which is what? Oh, well, actually, no, not quite. I get what you're saying now. What? This is the third step, where we take the b term and divide by 2 and square and then add it to both sides. So we're trying to figure out the term first. Okay? So here we have b over 2a, and we're going to square that. So we get, remember that when we square this, it's just like b over 2a times b over 2a. That's going to give us b squared over 4a squared. We're going to add that to both sides. So x squared plus b over ax plus b squared over 4a squared is equal to negative c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. Again, this isn't something you're going to have to do on your own. I just want you to see it. Alright, now we're going to factor the left. Remember that this always factors to x plus whatever b over 2 was. Well, remember in our step, we got, I didn't actually write it once by itself, but b over 2a. So x plus b over 2a squared on the left, when we factor, equals what we have on the right. How do we combine these fractions? How do we ever combine fractions when we're adding? Common denominator. So in order to get a common denominator, I'm going to have to multiply this fraction by 4a over 4a to get 4a squared in the denominator. Do you see that? Okay. So this is going to give me b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. So now that they have the same denominator, I can just add the numerators. And I did switch the order so that it looks more like quadratic formula. So b squared, this becomes negative 4ac all over 4a squared. Do you see that? Do you follow? Okay, now I'm going to take the square root of both sides. That's step 5. This is going to give me x plus b over 2a equals Remember that when we have a square root of a fraction, what can we do? Split it up. So we have plus or minus the square root of the top. And then what about the bottom? Yeah, sorry. What about the bottom? What's the square root of 4a squared? 2a. Then to get x by itself, we're going to subtract b over 2a from both sides. So we get x equals negative b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And since they have the same denominator, we can combine the numerator. So negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And that's what you should have learned on Friday, was the quadratic formula. So someone didn't actually just dream this up. Someone actually just completed the square to get the solutions. Now that you know this, you can just use quadratic formula, of course. But at least this shows you where it came from. Yeah. They do sometimes. Sometimes they do. It just depends. I don't really know how they go about naming them, but sometimes they do name them after the person. Yes. No, that's a great question. Yes, he is actually a real guy. Oh, thank you. Okay. All right. So we have quadratic formula. Now, did you learn the song? Surely you learned the song. Yeah. Okay. The only different part to the song that I sing is it still to the tune of Pop Goes the Weasel, but it starts out with the quadratic formula is negative b. So you actually say that little quadratic formula part. I'm telling you, this is how we're singing it, because this is how I sing it. This isn't up for discussion. Okay, now my rule about singing, when we actually sing in here, my rule is that you can sing with the group or you can sing by yourself, but you're going to make one of those choices. So if you want to sing by yourself, that's fabulous. If you don't like to sing by yourself, then you should sing with a group. You see how this works out? Okay, was anyone absent? I said that's fine. I actually said that was fabulous. Okay, was anyone not here Friday?
Kevin.
Okay, so Kevin, you can kind of hear us the first time, and if you feel comfortable, you can jump right in, or you can wait till we sing it again. Okay, awesome. So we're all going to sing it together. You ready? Okay, hopefully you remember it. It's right, the lyrics are right there if you forgot. Yeah. The words to the song? They're right there. They're all there. Okay, you ready? Try to stay away from the camera. Okay, here we go. Ready? Quadratic formula negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Our seasons like to sing math. This isn't math.
Actually, that was all.
No, it doesn't. Okay, we're singing in my way. Sorry, this is my class. Singing in my way. All right, you ready, Kevin? You got this? Okay, we're doing it together again. We'll probably sing it a couple of times. This is Pop Goes the Weasel. It's supposed to be like a battle song, a weasel pop, you know? So y'all are singing it super, super slowly. Yeah, breaking out. Okay, so here we go. We're going to sing it again. Are you ready? Quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac. All over 2a. Again, quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac. All over 2a. Okay, one more time, faster. I think you can do it. I think you got it. Here we go. Quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac. All over 2a. Okay, awesome. Let's do one example of how you would use quadratic formula, and then we will be done for today. Okay, here we go. Here's our example. X squared minus 6x minus 3 equals 0.
Wait, are you recording this?
Yes. Okay, a equals 1, b is negative 6, C is negative 3, and basically we're just going to plug it in and reduce. So the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus. Okay, y'all are awesome. Here we go. We're going to plug it in. So B is, okay, B is negative 6 already, so negative 6 becomes positive 6. Plus or minus, what is B squared? 36 minus 4 times 1 times negative 3. All over 2 times 1, which would just be 2. And now we're going to reduce. So 6 plus or minus. What is the square root of 36 plus 12? The square root of 48 divided by 2. And then we can reduce 48. What are two factors? 8 times 6. 8 is 4 times 2. 2 times 2. 2 times 3. So we have 4 2's and 1 3. What does that become? 4 root 3, all divided by 2. Now, as far as reducing, in order to reduce from this point, the number here, the number in front of the square root, not the square root, the number in front of the square root, and the number on the bottom must all have a factor in common. Do they? What is it? 2. So I can reduce them all by 2. This would become 3 plus or minus 2 root 3, and then if I divide the denominator by 2, I just get 1. So you can write it or not. Here's what I want to tell you. If you have something like 6 plus or minus root 3 over 2, this is not equal to, never has been, never will be, 3 plus or minus root 3. That's not it. They all have to be divisible by 2. So the number in front of the square root here has to be divisible by 2, and it's not. So you can either write it like this, or you could write it as 3 plus or minus root 3 over 2. Either way is fine. I don't care. Just do not write this. That's bad. Got it? Any questions? Yes, ma'am. The other song doesn't start with a quadratic.